I'd like to call this January 8th, 2024 Board of Supervisors meetings to order. I'd like to establish we have a quorum. We have 7 of 7 members. And currently, Mr. Chambers, Supervisor Chambers, will lead us in a prayer and pledge of allegiance.
Shall we
Please
stand? Shall we pray? Holy Father, we come tonight with thankful and grateful hearts for your many blessings. You've been able to help in ages past, and you have hope for years to come. We come thank you, Father, for bringing us to the first meeting of this year, asking that you would guide, direct us, and we'd have us to go. We pray in Almighty God that you would bless our citizens, bless our county. And we pray in what we do tonight be done according to their will and their will only. In your Christ's name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
We pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight, and this is our first meeting of the new year, so I want to congratulate our 2 new board members, and I've talked to them, and they're eager to get started, so we won't hold this up any further. The first item of business up for our new meeting of the new year is the call for the chairman of the Board of Supervisors for the FY24 year.
County Administrator, Board of Supervisors, Buckingham County citizens. I move that the section of the Board of Supervisors by law dealing with the chairman and the vice chairman to the board be as amended as follows. That 1 year be added to each year currently listed for the chairman and vice chairman for 2024 through 2031. The chairman would be District 6, and the vice chair would be District 1. And the vice chair would, and the chair for 2025 through 2032 would be District 1, and vice chair would be District 7, and so forth. And that Joe Chambers be elected as chair, and that Dennis Davis be elected as vice chair under that rotation. We have 2 new board members. We have Mr. Davis, who could not obligate to being the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, and I feel that this motion needs to be passed. Thank you.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor of the proposed motion? Motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Chambers.
I tried to, first time here. I touched the yes and then it slid over to the no, so I've already made my one mistake. So everybody that was waiting to see when I would make a mistake, it's done. Right, it's supposed to be. I tried to retouch it after it showed up no, and it wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, you're going to have right census tonight, okay?
I'm glad you did it first.
Congratulations, Chairman Chambers.
Thank you, sir. Thank the board. At this time, we have the approved agenda for tonight. Our work agenda.
So moved.
Second.
If a motion and second that our work agenda be approved, are there any questions? All in favor?
There you go.
7 yes. The next on the agenda be the approval of the minutes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion and second that the minutes be approved. Are there any questions? All in favor? Seven yes. The next be the approval of our claims.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion and second that the claims be approved. Are there any questions? All in favor? The next be the approval of the bylaws and rule of the procedure.
I'd like to change one of the bylaws, so I think I'll talk to Mr. Carter about it. What you say, just put it on hold? And do it later, or what? How did you want me to do it?
That's what you all just did a little while ago, right? You suspended the rotation for the chairman.
That's what the motion said.
Suspended, when I was talking about the planning commission. So you removing that too?
Will be done for this year or other years?
Just this year is what I was,
Just
what he
this year.
said.
Okay.
So that means that anything it was approved lately? Or what?
I think what, if I understood Mr. Gilman's motion is that they were suspending the rotation of chairman and vice chairman,
Exactly.
but everything else was going to stay the same.
All right.
That's right, so the vice chairman was on the planning commission, is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct. That was my motion.
And that's what I'd like to change, because I've been on it for a while, and I'd like to finish doing what I'm doing on it. We got a lot of things going on that I'd like to work on. I'd like to stay on the planning commission. Really, I have to go back and rechange how y'all said it. So, how you want me to do it?
Can you vote on something that's not on the agenda?
You can bring up a motion, but I mean, I guess you need to put that in a form of motion and have us vote on it.
All right, I'll make a motion to change how you approve the planning commission person. I'd like to stay on it, so that means you have to remove it from the vice chairman to go back to where it was for years. You just vote somebody in.
That's on the motion, Mr. Allen, you saying?
Yes, sir.
You can get a second?
Is that gonna be for 1 year or just for the rest of the time?
Rest
So
of the time?
my understanding of it is previously in the board meeting that we voted that that would be a rotation basis. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was under the impression that it would be a rotating basis after this year, Mr. Bryant.
I was
But
thinking,
if I'm wrong, or Mr. Allen would like to change it, he has that right.
I'd like to change it. I don't know how many people would agree with it, but that's just my thought.
Got a motion, but we don't have a second. Add it on it. Pardon me? We don't have a second. I guess the motion dies, though. Second.
Okay.
Are there any announcements? Hearing none, so we move down to K1, presentations, or resolution memorial of the family of Ms. Velma Jones. Family of Ms. Velma Jones, will you come up the front, please? Happy Yvonne up here now. A young lady that had served in our county for so many years. She was born in this county. She grew up in this county. She went off in further education and came back and worked till she retired. So, resolution expressing the consensus of the Board of Supervisors regarding the life and service of Velma Park Jones. Whereas Velma Park Jones, a Buckingham County native, was born on December the 21st, 1950. To the family of the Samuel Earl and Ruth Hazel Jones, she was the beloved youngest of 3 girls and 11th sister to a younger brother. Whereas Velma Park Jones was educated in Buckingham County school system, starting with one-room Slate River School, where she was taught by her mother, Ruth Hazel Jones, from grades 1 through 6. She completed the 7th grade at Stephen J. Ellis Elementary School, eventually graduated from College of Woodson as class president in 1969. In 74, she graduated from Virginia State College, now University, with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology. Whereas Velma Park Jones began her teaching career in the Buckingham County school system in 1974. She joined her mother, Ruth Hazel Jones, and her 3 sisters, Yvonne Jones Brown and Gwendolyn Ruth Jones, as Buckingham school system teachers. As a middle school science teacher, Velma had innate appreciation of science. She was a true educator and was actively involved in the development of her county youth and academically in the extracurriculum of the activities. Ms. Jones held positions as a cheerleader sponsor, National Battle Club, advisor and sponsor of the Buckingham County Middle School Student Government Association. Velma Park Jones was a strong advocate for loved ones and cause dear to her heart. She has her church, education, and civic responsibilities. Velma accepted Christ at an early age and joined the Slate River Baptist Church. She remained active in the church throughout her life and was a member of the choir, trustee, board, financial secretary, and respected dignitaries. She was the corresponding secretary for the United Baptist Association of Central Virginia and the Women's Missionary and Education Convention. She was a member of the Buckingham branch of NAACP, member of Virginia State University alumni, and associated with the member of the Kappa Rho Omega chapter, Alpha Kappa Omega Society since May 23. Whereas after her retirement from Buckingham County school system, she remained committed to education and routinely served as a substitute teacher for the county. She was appointed as the Buckingham County representatives on the boards of the both Southside Virginia Community College of Alberta, Virginia, and the Piedmont Virginia Community College in Charlottesville, Virginia. Therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Buckingham County Board of Supervisors do hereby recognize and express our deepest appreciation to Velma Park Jones for her 30 years plus of dedication to education and for the service to the community of Buckingham County. We express our deepest condolence to her family and to her friends. We want to say congratulations to a great family. I'm going to say to Earl, he done served at time and he'll live with 3 sisters. He automatically going to hear me.
Thank you, thank you.
Graduated her sister. '65.
With class of 65.
Class of 65. Thank y'all too for coming.
Thank you, thank you.
Good evening, Board, and
No, sir.
appreciate, let me make a presentation at this time. I just came from Richmond, Virginia, where I've been there all day working on budget. The governor was there, and we're talking about next year's budget and what the outlook looks like. And then last month at the meeting, I came before you to get the approval of a 2% raise for all of our employees beginning in January 2024. And at that time, I didn't know anything about the part-time bus drivers. And tonight, we are going to announce that right up front, that we are going to take care of them just like we did the bus drivers with the same rate. I think it's 10 of them, in which will cost us about $79,000, but that's what we're going to do. And the reason is that you never know who's driving a bus. You know, you might have 5 out one day, you might have 10 out one day. So this, thank you for what you've done and started, and appreciate that. I'm asking tonight if you would approve the local portion of that, which is $110,000, which the state is sitting our way. And I need that to go and start that 2% for our school people. I've been here 2 years. I appreciate what you've done in working with me in trying to provide a good education for our kids. And we're all involved with our kids. Everybody here is involved one way or the other. So, and I appreciate that. And I'm proud to report tonight that the state superintendent complimented Buckingham County today for the way that they have handled the tutoring that's going on. And she's doing a documentary of some of the schools. Buckingham will be on that. So I'm proud of that. And that's all I have, guys. I just need approval, and I'll be heading back to Richmond, okay?
All right, I don't see no problem with the recommendation from the Finance Committee. We need a motion to approve this. I'd like to make that motion.
I'll just point out for Dr. Keeler to know that, you know, the Finance Committee made a recommendation for the $110,000. Hoping those two combined will help you get you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So is that correct, that $60,000 will help you $79,000 for the bus driver? Okay, thank you.
We need a motion to approve this.
Make a motion.
Do we get a second?
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Bryant, second by Supervisor Allen, that we approve this. Are there any questions? All in favor? 7 yes. Thank you, Dr. Kill.
Thank you all.
Ms. Snoddy?
Thank you.
Good evening. The Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District has requested time with you tonight to give you an update on our activities over the past year. We are here as a resource for you as board members, as a resource for county staff, and as a resource for our community. And you are welcome to call on any of our staff or our directors for any assistance. So the district is governed by an elected board of directors with 2 elected from each county, 1 appointed, and several associate directors. Our elected directors representing Buckingham are Kevin Dunn and Donna McRae Jones. And Barbara Teeple is our appointed director, and she is here tonight in the audience. We have associate directors from our partnering agency, Virginia Cooperative Extension and 4-H, Jennifer Ligon and Ruth Wallace. We also have elected directors representing Cumberland, Todd Smith and Terry Seal, who are our chairman and vice chairman. Amber Taylor is our director representative from the Virginia Cooperative Extension. She's the Cumberland Ag agent. And we have associate directors as well from Cumberland. Ferdy Mae Jamerson, who is a Cumberland agricultural producer, and Linda Eanes, who is our Cumberland 4-H agent. We have 5 staff. Sherry Ragland is our district manager. Charlotte Maybe is our education specialist. She's here with me tonight. She just passed around to you our annual report. Cody Smith is our conservation technician. He's in the audience. And Jesse Hudgens is our equipment manager. We now have somebody who can manage the no-till drills for us. And myself, Kelly Snoddy, I am the senior conservation specialist. You can change the slide for me, Jennifer. All right, so you'll see pictures on your screen that will go along with what updates that I'm giving you. So one of our greatest accomplishments this year that we are proud of, installed at 10 of the most traveled points of entry into Buckingham and Cumberland were our entering Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District signs. This is a project that Director James McDaniel Jr. spearheaded. This is our district logo. It was designed by Joanna Baldwin, a student from Cumberland High School, who won our Design Our Logo contest in 1999. Mr. McDaniel is seen here pictured with a sign on Route 56 coming into Buckingham. He recently retired from his elected director position on the board of the Soil and Water District after 32 years, and of that, he served 22 years as our treasurer. So last month, the board honored him with the title of Associate Director Emeritus. We offer programs that provide cost share assistance to install conservation practices that are geared toward water quality improvement. Our program is broken into two areas, agricultural and residential, with the distinction being conservation practices that are for agricultural operations versus practices that are for homeowners' needs. Our ag practices fall under the Virginia Agricultural Cost Share Program with funding provided by the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation. There are a total of 66 agricultural projects right now between last year's and this year's funding that are under contract or under construction. That's not counting the ones that we are currently working on coming up into the new year. And those are in both Buckingham and Cumberland counties. From that program, the total amount of funding approved for projects thus far is $2 million. We still have funding available for next year coming up and for the end of this fiscal year. We take applications continuously. We're always encouraging landowners to come and see us. We do tell them lately that please be patient with us. All right. Our residential cost share program administers septic financial assistance to homeowners in both Buckingham and Cumberland. We have two different grants. One is federally funded through a TMDL project in the Slate River watershed, and the other is a local grant, which covers the remaining portions of Buckingham and Cumberland. The federal grant offers a 50 to 80% assistance based on income level for septic tank pump outs and system repairs, and the local grant offers 50% for septic tank pump outs only. So far in fiscal year 24, which for us was July 1 of last year until today, for residents in Buckingham, we have approved cost share funding in the total amount of $10,540 in the Slate River watershed and $9,000 in our local funding, totaling 45 septic pump outs, 3 septic replacements, and 1 simple repair. So if you would like information about our septic system program, please visit our website or you can call our office and speak with Cody. The district continues to provide plan review services for the erosion and sediment control program to the county. In 2023, working with Lynn and Nikki, I reviewed 4 plans and consulted on a few site visits as needed. Jennifer? Oh, you're on that one. Yep, education is right. I'm going to let Charlie give you her update on our education programs.
Good evening. So my name is Charlotte Maybe. I am the new education coordinator for Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District. It's a mouthful. So what my job is, upon school or a teacher's request, we provide conservation education programs to complement a teacher's SOL requirements. And we often partner or we can bring in professionals to the classroom like DOF, 4-H, Virginia Cooperative Extension to teach these programs. And I welcome any teacher or professional or school to call me if they would like to schedule a session with me. If you have any questions about what we do offer, or if you're curious, you can visit our website. And for our educational outreach highlights for our youth, we have multiple after-school programs that are offered, such as topics topics such as erosion, pollinators, the water cycle, soil, rocks and minerals. And we also assist our Envirothon coaches with training topics in preparation for the area competition coming up in April, and then we have the state competition coming up in May. For adults, we hold an awards banquet dinner in the spring, and we also hold an annual information dinner, an informational dinner with our partnering agencies in the fall. And this past September, we partnered with the James River Association and the James River Buffer Program on we put on an educational field day for kids, and it was really fun. It was followed by a float down the James River. For college scholarships? Oh, right, perfect. For our scholarships, we offer scholarships annually to students in Buckingham and Cumberland County. Applicants must be a full-time student who is currently enrolled or has applied to a college or a undergraduate level curriculum. The district begins to advertise this in January, so I'm going to start advertising it in the high school. Our deadline for this scholarship is going to be March 1st. If you know anyone planning or majoring in natural resources, biology, and environmental studies, I encourage them to fill out this application. Our winners last year were Jordan Dorier of Buckingham, who is attending Sweetbriar College. And then our next is Bailey Meinhard of Cumberland, who is attending William and Mary. Peter Francisco puts on a couple of camps, but the ones that we have highlighted for you today are our Youth Conservation Camp and our Camps Woods and Wildlife, which is formerly known as Forestry Camp. We did not have any participants from Buckingham this past year, but our youth conservation campers from Cumberland were Tucker Bowman and Savannah Skeens. Our wonderful conservation technician, Cody, he served as a camp counselor this past year, and all camp counselors are soil and water staff, or it would be a partnering agency. And here are some photos. On our Envirothon competition, the district supports local high school students to participate in the Envirothon competition. It is a team-based natural resources competition where high school students are tested on the topics of soils, forestry, wildlife, and aquatics, and also a current specific environmental issue, which I believe is renewable energy. They also prepare an oral presentation in which they solve real-life environmental problems. It's a wonderful program, and kids really get very involved in it. The only requirements for a team are a minimum of 5 high school students and 1 adult advisor or a chaperone. Both Buckingham and Cumberland high schools will have teams for the 2023-24 year. Buckingham High School team is coached by Miss Suzanne Snoddy, and our Cumberland High School coach will be Josh Fleener. He is also an FFA advisor, accompanied with Miss Linda Eanes, and she's involved with Cumberland 4-H. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me, email me, call the office, if you might even have a team that might be interested. Peter Francisco hosts a poster competition, a contest as well throughout Buckingham and Cumberland County. The district coordinates with the schools and the art teachers, and this allows students the opportunity to enter a conservation poster in and usually we have a different theme each year. This year was one watersheds, one water. We had about 40 participants this year. It ranges from kindergarten to 12th grade. And to see all the artwork, you are more than welcome to log on to our website, and we have winners of each category. Let's see. Switch to the chart. Okay. So category kindergarten through first grade, first place is going to be Price Davis. In category 4th through 6th grade is Henry Bates. I'm sorry, Price Davis was from Buckingham Primary School, and then Henry Bates was from Central Virginia Christian School. Category 7th through 9th grade is Danielle Hensley from Buckingham Middle School. And 10th through 12th grade high school level, first grade, is Kiera Arias. But our overall first place winner was our digital poster winner, Rainey Warner. And she won at the local level, and her poster was sent to the National Association of Conservation Districts to be judged at the state level. For awards this year, we had each year the district chooses a Conservation Teacher of the Year award. This year, the district chose Miss Suzanne Snoddy. She is the Science Department Chair and Biology Environmental Science teacher at Buckingham High School. Miss Snoddy started her journey with the district in 2016 when she was teaching 6th grade science at Cumberland Middle School. The district provided meaningful watershed education experiences for her students. And she ended up chaperoning a 2-day education watershed exploration camp. And since then, we have worked together to provide numerous field trips and hands-on environmental activities for her and her students. She is currently working on developing an outdoor classroom behind Buckingham Preschool, and she has already conducted a few programs.
Where it was. So another award that we offer is the Clean Water Farm Award. This is through the Department of Conservation and Recreation. They recognize Virginia producers who are enacting conservation practices on their property that are positively impacting soil and water quality and encouraging others in the stewardship of our natural resources. So this year, 100 Year Farm, owned and operated by Joanne and John Doss of Cumberland County, received this award. They practice intensive rotational grazing with their beef cattle herd to meet management goals of improving and increasing their forage naturally and reducing the need for feeding hay. They have installed over 17,000 feet of stream exclusion fencing, over 11,000 feet of permanent cross fencing, an alternative watering system, which includes 13 water troughs and a well, with quick connects within the pipeline for temporary water access. The exclusion fencing created 44 acres of stream buffer, and of those 44 acres, the open acreage was eligible for tree planting. So they were enrolled with the James River Buffer Program, where they planted approximately 4 acres with a mixture of native hardwoods and shrubs in the spring of 21 and the fall of 2022. Under the Public Law 566 Watershed Project and Flood Prevention Program, over 150 watershed dams have been built across the state of Virginia. This is with financial and technical assistance from the Natural Resource Conservation Service. The Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District is the local sponsor of 17 of these structures here in the county. We are one of 12 soil and water conservation districts across the state that perform this operation and maintenance. Our primary responsibility is to operate and maintain the flood control dams in accordance with state dam regulations. We coordinate with both Buckingham and Cumberland County Emergency Services personnel for our emergency action planning and implementation. The things that we have done this year are we mow twice a year. That is part of our annual maintenance. We perform annual inspections of the dams. This year we are a little behind on them, so we will be finishing them up in the next couple months. We have received funding for remote monitoring devices that can be installed on the dams to measure rainfall and lake level rise as part of our emergency action preparedness. It sends a message to my phone that lets me know that it's raining. So we have been approved for funding for all 17 of the dams. We're working towards completion of that in the next few months. 4 of the dams need satellite versus cellular signal. So those 4 have already been completed. And in this upcoming year, we do have plans to have an educational meeting for our dam landowners, and we have to be updating our emergency action plans per our state requirements. So that is the end of our slideshow pictures for you. That sums up our activities for the year. I'm sure there are a lot of blank spaces in what we've been doing, but please know that we appreciate working with the county. We hope to continue to work with you, and if there are any questions, we can take them. If you don't have any now, but you have some later, you're welcome to give us a call. Thank
Do
you.
any board member have a question for Ms. Snoddy? Don't we thank you for all you do?
Thank
for the
you.
county.
Thank you.
All right, next be public comments. Pardon me. How many we got public comments?
We have 8.
Got 3 minutes apiece. Okay. Who was the first one?
The first one is Laura Whitworth Nanuski. Sorry if I said that wrong, District 1.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Laura Whitworth Lanieski, and I'm here representing my parents, Warren and Diane Whitworth. Our farm is on Blinkies Road. We are very concerned and opposed to the proposed Arvonia solar project being developed by Hudson Energy LLC. The project site would extend along the west and back side of our property and would span over 1,000 acres on both sides of Blinkies. We would like to invite each of you out to our farm so you can see the project site for yourself. And in the meantime, I've provided you with a picture. From this angle, and because it's an amateur photo, it's hard to see how steep the terrain is. And it only partially shows one of the sites that will be covered with solar panels, making them 100% visible indefinitely because of the topography of the land, plus cause tremendous glare. Our hillside faces the project site hillside, so hundreds or thousands of solar panels will always be visible. This will also adversely affect many property owners, including our neighbors. In the proposal, the developer states that the site is, quote, relatively flat. That is false. The proposed site is heavily sloped toward Bear Garden Creek, which is the property border. This creek runs through the entire site and feeds directly into the James River about a mile away. Industrial solar construction across Virginia is causing tremendous damage to waterways, and I'd like to share some of those stories with you, including an investigative report featured on Channel 6 News about damages caused by the solar facility in Louisa County. We are also very concerned that the chairman of the Planning Commission, Mr. John Bickford, is one of the landowners and will directly benefit financially from this project moving forward. In our opinion, this is a direct conflict of interest, and we would like to know how long has this conflict of interest existed? When did Mr. Bickford become involved with this project, and what date was the PJM application filed? We've also heard that the developer has made or is going to make a $75,000 donation to Third Liberty Baptist Church. We are making a public request that in the interest of transparency, Hudson Energy disclose payments made to any and all organizations concerning the Arvonia solar project. How many have been paid and what are the amounts? We do not oppose solar, but this is not a farm. It is a power plant, and the industrialization of real farms and timberlands is not green. This part of Buckingham already has a solar plant, a power plant, and should not be subjected to another, especially one that covers over 1,000 acres of agricultural land. This could very likely be a nightmare for this area and the James River due to stormwater runoff, and new DEQ regulations are not being mandated for this project. The land is not currently zoned industrial, and we are asking you to please keep it that way. Please consider this proposal on its own merits and deny the special use permit for the Arvonia solar project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next person is Pete Kapusinski, District 3, and Rick Ewing would be next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Supervisors. I am a resident member of the Buckingham Economic Development Committee, a group that the board put together and authorized to bring commercial ideas to the board with the hope that perhaps we might find a company or more than one that would locate here and grow. Supervisor Miles at the time and Supervisor Matthews at the time co-chaired that committee, and they should be commended and thanked for doing a great job bringing a bunch of us together, fostering business and development ideas. Conversations in that group, I feel, were lively, enthusiastic, and again, my view, productive. To that end, I would hope that the board will continue moving forward with the committee and support it with the addition of 1 or 2 board members who will take the place of Mr. Miles and Mr. Matthews. As it is, you may even consider inviting one or both of these individuals to join, either for a short while or permanently, in order to bring continuity to the group moving forward. Both these individuals have presided over the group, have kept the discussions focused, and in line with the county's objective of building a bigger business presence in Buckingham, and can contribute helping us all move forward ahead without any interruption. So welcome to the new supervisors who are now board members, and I hope you will consider this suggestion for economic development in Buckingham. Thank you.
Rick Ewing, and then David Ball will be next.
Good evening. Welcome to the new supervisors. I'm Rick Ewing. I'm the library director for Central Virginia Regional Library, and Buckingham is one of our libraries. Thank you for giving me a little time to speak. I'm here to say thank you to our former branch manager, Kim Westerhoff, who was at the Buckingham Library for about a year. She is now branch manager at our new for us, Cumberland Library, who joined our system, actually officially joined it about a week ago, but we've been working on that for about 6 months. So Kim's there. We had an opening, and we hired Grace Barlow. And I'm here to introduce Grace to you. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. But I'm not at Buckingham Library quite as often as I'd like to be. Grace will be there a lot. Grace is a Buckingham County resident, so you're getting somebody who has some personal interest in the county as well. Do you have any questions for Grace or myself? All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
David Ball, District 3, and Doug Oliver will be next.
Good evening, David Ball, District 3. I'd like to say congratulations and welcome to my new district representative, Mr. Palmore, and also to Paul Garrett for his attaining the position in District 4. One of the things that you'll find, you two new members will find over the next year to 4 years, is there going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of things that'll come up. You'll have a lot of input from your elected, your voters, and they will be positive and negative. So you'll have to deal with both. And those are challenges that aren't easy for everybody to deal with. And I want to say to the fact that, we've had a little bit of a cold start this winter not much in the way of snow, just a dusting. But looking around, I know that there is still a lot of tree issues that we're going to have to deal with throughout the area where they're along the right-of-ways. I see trees that have actually had fallen into the right-of-way, and fortunately for the good people of Buckingham, they get out their chainsaws and push them aside. But there's a lot of work that we're going to have to get through with VDOT, and I know Richmond hasn't always been giving us the money that's necessary to take care of all the issues in a very rural community such as Buckingham. I also know that we have a lot of concerns about this industrial park area because of the fact that the Christian school exists there has been a negative for a lot of businesses not wanting to come and bring their businesses to Buckingham, and that's unfortunate, and we need to find a way to encourage business here despite the obstacle of the school there. We did get the tank farm, which was a positive thing, and hopefully with the amount of land that's available in the industrial area, we can look forward to some actual business growth in the county for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doug Oliver, District 6, and James Smith will be next.
Good evening, Doug Oliver, District 6, but I also own a home and land in District 1. And I'm here to call in to question the validity of the Planning Commission's public hearing regarding Mountain Pine Arvonia LLC and Mountain Pine Arvonia 2 LLC. The Code of Virginia outlines the requirements for the notification of a public hearing for a planning commission and outlines what needs to be done. It also outlines the requirements for the notification of adjoining landowners. And it also outlines that counties can stipulate on their own requirements. So my question, what I want to bring to your attention anyway, is during the Planning Commission's public hearing, I brought to them that, hey, I just received my notification on Wednesday, which was exactly 5 days before the hearing. How about those people that lived out of the area? Well, there are people who lived out of the area that did not meet the Code of Virginia's 5-day requirement. Also, the Code of Virginia says that you have to give an address and tax map numbers. Well, Buckingham went a step further. There are 3 landowners in this project, the largest being BTG Pactual, which is the one that joins me. 600 and some acres of the 1,000 acres is BTG Pactual. However, in the public posting that was put out, the only 2 landowners that were listed were Bickford Family Lands and Dick Purcell Land, Cattle, and Timber. And in the letters that were sent to the adjoining landowners, the only landowners that were listed were Bickford Family Lands and Dick Purcell Land, Cattle, and Timber. Also, the signs, and I talked to you about this, a food line. The signs were not changed. The county's own regulations say 21 days prior to a public hearing. It is up to the applicant to repost the signs. Those same signs that say 11/28 or whenever that first public hearing is are still sitting where they sit. I can file an appeal, but it's going to cost me $250 to file an appeal. I'm a lifelong resident of Buckingham County. Your own code says that you can invalidate something if it materially deprived the public of reasonable notice of the public hearing. However, it says that not posting those signs does not justify nullifying it. But I think the accumulation of the fact that the public notices didn't go out according to state code, and one of the majority landowner was not listed in the public notice or in the adjoining landowners, don't make me have to spend $250 to appeal this. Y'all can on your own see that this wasn't right. Thank you.
James Smith, District 4, and Heidi Bear, too, will be next.
Good evening, Jamie Smith, District 4. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, joyful Epiphany. I want to talk tonight about composting, which I know is a favorite subject of elected boards everywhere. In the age of global warming or climate change or whatever we're going to call it this week, the main target of discussion has been carbon. Meanwhile, we are putting human waste on fields, and we are either can't get our hands on it or paying through the nose for chemical fertilizers. The solution to both issues is compost. Compost can take waste from confined animal operations, waste from animal processing facilities, or carbon-based waste from a small local farm, and turn it into a natural fertilizer that is better for the environment and better for the soil that's going on than our other options. The other thing that it uses primarily is wood chips. And the volume of wood chips necessary on a larger composting operation is a great way to sequester that carbon. And everybody likes to, in the discussion, talks about sequestering carbon. And one of the best ways to do that is through composting. And so I hope in the future, if a composting facility comes before you, or someone wants to compost on their property, that you are in favor of that. The other thing I'd like to mention real quick is, in all the discussions I've listened to about solar farms and the issues with solar farms, among them being how are they going to maintain the property? Are they going to cut the grass? How are they going to keep erosion down? And I haven't heard anybody suggest using livestock to maintain a solar farm property, particularly sheep, to maintain the grass and the land around it, which is a great way to keep it maintained and to keep it agriculture. So, anyway, I thought I'd offer that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Heidi Beartu, District 5, and Ted Flippin will be next.
Good evening. My name is Heidi Beartu, and I'm in the James River District. And I also want to welcome the new supervisors here tonight. While it seems Hodson Solar has followed all the requests from the county, nonetheless, it's too bad that you did not get a good understanding of extensive negative impacts of industrial solar and then a decent solar ordinance in place before considering any applications. These projects cover thousands of acres, so you now have lots of neighbors that are mad at you and distrusting you. The first solar project, the neighbors begged you to slow it down and do the right thing. Buckingham's adopted policies could be even stronger. It seems Mr. Bickford could have delayed the Hodson project on his land until after a more agreeable policy was in place, or chosen to bump up the conditions to fit future stronger regulations. Now you have 60 more neighbors mad at you. It seems Mr. Bickford has a conflict of interest as he's not acting as a public servant congruent with his position as chair of the Planning Commission. He's been well informed by the impacts from various people who've come forward. So this does not inspire confidence in him. The energy crisis has been with us for 50 years now, while we have done very little to curb it. Now it's all a rush, and the dire consequences of developing thousands of acres of solar projects are sending our soils downstream, cutting down our forests, using our agricultural land, creating more heat already for an overheated planet. So what to do with the thousands of acres at the end of life of these solar panels? That has not been addressed. We know that small community solar, the energy used, where the energy is used locally, is the best approach, but you have succumbed to industry pressure and chosen large industrial projects instead. The money up front looks good, but you have not looked carefully at the long-term cost-benefit values of these projects, let alone the unaccounted for costs of extensive ecological problems. I can't imagine this is fun for you, but your actions and inactions are breaking people's hearts and ruining their lives. What are you going to do about it? Will you be more bold with metallic mining? The current zoning of by right and SUPs do not protect us. Will you enact a strong ban? Will you act preventatively instead of waiting until the industry comes knocking? Will you take this opportunity to course correct and reject
Thank you, ma'am.
the massive land-intense industrial projects? Thank you.
Ed Flippin, District 1, and that would be it.
Good evening, gentlemen, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen. I'm here to speak on the, what's dubbed as the Arvonia Solar Project. Anything on the west side of 15 is Arvonia. Anything on the east side of 15 is New Canton, just so you know the difference.
Tell them we live in New Canton.
Right. So I speak for myself when I say I'm an adjoining landowner. And from 718 at the gate, all the way down the straight line, and when you guys take a look at the map, you'll see it's a long straight line, and it goes all the way to a corner, and then another third of the way up the straight line belongs to either my first cousin or me. Now, Hudson Energy said that they talked to a lot of the adjoining landowners. I haven't seen anyone. We own almost a mile of the property down that side. No one has come to see us. No one. They spent a lot of time, and God bless those folks down at Third Liberty. They wrote a check to them. Why would you do that? What is the motive behind that? Why would you write a check to Third Liberty? As fine as those folks are, none of them have a horse in this race. They're not adjoining landowners. They are not. We are. If I had the time, you know what it buys you? It buys you a petition with the names of everybody from down there. They're empty promises. Oh, we've got a bear garden. We're going to have jobs. Guess how many people from Third Liberty work at the bear garden facility? Let me answer it for you, 0. Empty promises. You've got to question somebody's motive. 718 is called Chapel Road for a reason. We have a chapel on it, not a stone's throw from the gate. Not a stone throw. Do we not qualify for bribe money? I mean, a donation? I'm sorry. Think about that when you guys go to vote. The motive of this. Why did they do that? To drive a wedge in the middle of our community. Don't let someone, don't reward bad behavior. That's not right. Thank you.
That's all we
That's
have.
all. Mr. Frederick?
Good evening, Chairman and Board. Thank you for having me. I want to congratulate the 2 new supervisors as well. Before the meeting, I handed you a copy of the Board of Supervisor manual. A lot of the things that your constituents might hit you with that are VDOT related are covered in there, but I'm happy to help you with anything that may come up while you're in the role you're in now. So just wanted to say that and welcome again. I hope, personally, I just want to say hope that the whole entire board had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Over the weekend, we had our 3rd weather event of the year. They've all been mild in nature, but you have to prepare for the worst, even if the forecast, you never know whether it's going to be 100% accurate or not. And they've turned out in our favor so far. We have our skeleton crews scheduled to come in tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. because the temperatures are going to be questionably low again, and they're also predicting rain. So depending on how that comes in, we want to have some staff present to treat any spots that might get slick. Coming out of our last meeting, there was the Route 20 bridge over the Slate River was brought to my attention, and we had been watching it. I was aware of the approach slab on the north end of it, it's not a smooth transition between the bridge and the road. And I did measure it, and with a string line and a tape measure, you can measure about 5 inches of settlement, and that's pretty substantial. When we're gonna, as soon as we can get a paving crew in, we're gonna do some asphalt work on that end of the bridge to make that a smooth transition again. So, just thank you for mentioning that to me. I wanted to let you know what I found when I was out there.
Thank you.
The other thing that's come up that I wanted to update you on, I don't have a big update for the board tonight. Blue Light Solutions has submitted a packet to us requesting a permit to install photo enforced speed detection devices at the school on Route 20. It's the first one that we've received at the residency, and I got it sent over to traffic engineering to get their input on it. We're not definitely not against approving it. We just want to make sure we review it properly and get it back to you. So I'll keep you posted on where that goes after they get done with their review. The other thing that I did mention, because I forgot it last month, Mr. Supervisor Davis brought to my attention a route. It was called Settlers Way, and trucks were getting directed on it to go into Arvonia Boxley Quarry. I think we got a no outlet sign put up coming onto that dead end from the main road, but I told you we submitted it to a website to get the GPS information corrected, and before the meeting tonight I punched it in my phone and it sent me, I was pretending I was going there, and it tried to send me through Circle Drive Road and then to Arvin Road. So I think at least the carrier I used, it's been corrected, so I wanted to let you know that.
Jones be glad. He's sick of putting his mailbox back up. They done knocked it down 5 or 6 times.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have to do that anymore. But so if you keep getting that complaint, please let me know and we can see if we can help further.
Sir, thank you.
But that's all that I brought. I do always, I like the YouTube video that you guys put out. It makes it easy for me to review the meeting and get work orders put in. I always go through and put in work orders for everything that comes up, even if I don't update you on it the next month. So, and then a lot of times when I actually get the resolution or when the work order is completed, I try to update you at that point. So some stuff takes more than 1 month. But just wanted to say all that, and I'll open it up to the board at this time for comment and concerns.
District 1?
Just, Mr. Frederick, if you would, when your crews are down, I've seen them been down, cutting some trees down before Christmas and all, some dead trees and stuff. But it's quite a few around 610 Blinkies Road, different ones that are dead that you'll see steady leaning on towards the road. If y'all could take care of them before somebody gets hurt, that's my main concern right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Frederick. The only thing that I've got to ask you, and I understand that you don't have anything to do with the bridge crew, but we talked before the meeting, that road was called Cello Road.
Okay.
All right, and that's in the bottom between Cello and Bailey. That's a small, narrow bridge that I asked you about the last meeting. And can you check to see what the status of that is with the bridge report or the bridge crew? I have some people in my district that absolutely think that bridge is not safe. And I like to have an engineering report done on the bridge to make sure that people are safe to cross the bridge.
Yes, sir. I'll check on it and let you know. I do remember submitting it now. It takes my memory a few seconds to get jogged sometimes, but I'll.
Okay, even if it's before the next board meeting, if you let Mr. Carter know what the status of that is, I'd appreciate it, because I've had several people that are not car dealers that know more about bridges than I do say that it's not safe. And if you could get an engineer or somebody to look at that, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We'll check on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
District 3?
Good evening, Mr. Frederick. Andersonville Road, 640, Route 640.
Yes, sir.
You're probably aware, it looks like it's coming apart.
Okay.
It's multiple cracks, lots of holes, water standing in the holes. I know this time of year, it's not the time of year to do patchwork, but you may want to have somebody look at it because it's really getting bad.
Okay, yeah, well, happy to review it. Our headquarters used to be located on that road, and we're pretty familiar with it. I was out there about 2 weeks ago because we're doing some work to surplus the property that we currently own, and I've seen where we have put skin patches down on some sections of it, but it looks like we need to do some more of that type of work.
Yeah, I mean, if you would just take a look at it, because it's starting to get pretty bad.
Yes, sir. Will do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
District 4,
Mr. Frederick, nice to meet you tonight, and I haven't been made aware of anything at the moment, but I know we'll be able to get in touch with you. And I know from Jordan Miles that a lot of times we have a lot of people in our area that have problems, and if they come about, I'll know who to get in touch with now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
District 5,
No, Halsville Road is still rough as it was, so y'all gonna get to that, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. We're going to try to keep it as best we can until spring. And like I said, we're going to have a patching contractor come in the spring and put some good, they'll mill out the bad areas and put patches down.
okay, thank you. District 6, did you have a chance to look at Spencer Road, the bridge I was telling you about down there?
Spencer Road? Yes, sir. I'll have to, like I said, I'll check on the work orders and see if it's been done.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
District 7,
Me and Mr. Scott's already talked about it.
Yeah, and I'll get work orders submitted for the intersection at 60 and 56. Mr. Allen brought to my attention that there's a gentleman in a wheelchair crossing 60 right there. We're going to see if there's any kind of signage that traffic engineering could support putting out there for that. And then also he brought some guardrail damage to my attention on 20 that
thanks, sir.
gets replaced.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, board. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
And we come on down to N1, Ms. Emerson.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The first case for public hearing this evening is case 23 SUP 333. The landowner is Martin Slate River Farm LLC. Applicant is Verizon Wireless, Stewart Squire. We do have Charlie Alvis with us this evening to represent the applicant. Property information would include one tax map, 6516, with approximately 64.8 acres. It's located on Ranson Road in the Slate River District. It is an A1 zoning district, and the request before you, which was introduced last month, is to obtain a special use permit for the purpose of constructing a 199-foot monopole communications tower. The applicant is here with a presentation this evening, and there is no one signed up for the public hearing.
Over here. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Edmondson, and good evening, members of the board. I've got a brief presentation I'd like to share with you all, and please interrupt me if you have any questions, and happy to take questions at the end. And I should introduce myself. My name's Charlie Alvis. I'm from the law firm of Williams Mullen in Charlottesville, representing Verizon Wireless, and with me is Stewart Squire from GD Insights, who's the site consultant for this site. Can y'all see this on your screens in front of you? Probably be easier if you see it. Yeah. Okay.
I know I'm talking to you.
We can skip to
Not coming in.
Are we good now? Oh, okay. Okay, excuse me.
There you go.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so this is our location. We're on Ranson Road. We can move on to the next slide. This is the GPS coordinates of the site. The basic goal here is, as you all know, we've got Route 60, Route 15, and Route 20 in this general area. Two of the roads, two of the main roads there are decently well covered. Route 20 in this area is not, and so that's the objective of this site. And we can go to the next slide, please. This is just a zoom in of where the site would be relative to Ranson Road, down an existing access road from Ranson. Slide, please. This is the site plan that's included in your materials. You see the access road there on the right coming off the road, and the square sort of at the bottom center is the site compound where the equipment would all be located in a fenced area. We can go to the next slide, please. This is just a zoom in of the compound area. You see the tower would be right in the middle of that box that includes all the equipment inside a fence and inside some landscape screening, and there's a turnaround area there for maintenance vehicles to come in and check on the equipment. Next slide, please. This is a elevation of what it would look like from the ground. You can see the dark area at the bottom is the fenced area, 199 feet that wouldn't require any lighting at the top. There would be room for Verizon and 5 future carriers or county emergency equipment on the tower. And as mentioned, all the equipment on the ground would be fenced in. Slide, please. So I'd like to share some photographs, photo simulations of what the tower would look like. We conducted a balloon test last fall, or excuse me, I think even earlier than last fall, and took some photographs of the balloon flying at 199 feet. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of go out to the east and then to the north and then to the west. So you'll see these photo simulations. We can go to the next slide. This is right from Ranson Road. You can see let me mention on the inset picture on the top left, you see the green dot is where the tower would be, and the red dots are the places from which the photographs were taken. And if you see the little yellow arrow, that's the direction that we're looking. So you can kind of follow along more carefully that way. But anyway, this is right from Ranson Road. This is a simulated picture of what the site would look like, and obviously it's a cleared area, so it's quite visible right at the driveway there. And then go to the next picture. This is from the southwest. You can see it would be visible over the trees there. Next photograph is from Turner Lane from the west, not visible from this vantage point. Next one is west again from Ranson Road, not visible from this vantage point. Next one is west from Route 20, not visible from here. Next one is southwest from Route 20, not visible as well. Next one is from the Barn Road from the southwest, not visible. And south from the same road, not visible. Oh, excuse me, it is visible. Pardon me, it's right over the tree line there. You can see, but it's the arrow in the simulated picture is pointing right at the tree line, so it was just barely visible at this site. The next one not visible from the south, from Ranson Road, that is. And this is from the southeast from Ranson, again, right over the treetops there. This is southeast from Ranson Road, not visible from this location. And this is looking east from Spencer Road, not visible here. Have one more. That's it. So those are all of our simulation photos, and happy to take any questions from the board.
During the board, have any questions? I live on Ransom Road. I hadn't heard nobody complain about it, so I got no problem with it.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. So we have to go. Anybody want to speak in the public hearing for this project?
No, sir, no one has signed up.
Close the public hearing then. What is the pledge of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve.
Got a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Gillen. We approve the project. Are there any questions? All in favor? Right. All right, 7 yes. Okay.
The next case this evening, Mr. Chairman, is a public hearing for 23 ZMA 335. This property is located at tax map 138, parcel 15. It's just over 8 acres, and it's located at or near 284 Industrial Park Road in Dillwyn. The landowner and applicant is Buckingham County. The request before you is a zoning map amendment. The applicant is requesting rezoning from neighborhood commercial to recreational access for conformity with county usage. And this case was introduced to you last month as well. There is no one signed up for this public hearing. Do you have any other questions or?
Any questions for Ms. Epperson? Board member, any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
This happens to be in my district, and I just want to say this is one of the best things for the community that came out of the industrial park. We have numbers of kids that practice there 2 days a week. Tuesday and Thursday was soccer. Todd Shoemaker does a great job with the recreation department here in our county. We have to have some place for the kids to practice. We have a great bathroom being installed down there. It's close to the library. A lot of the parents walk the back road at night for exercise. We have a great playground back there where if one brother's playing, the other brother can be on the playground if he's younger or whatnot. And I think this is one of the greatest attributes that we could give to the community out of the industrial park, is to let the kids of the community have a place to practice, to play. The parents have a place to go to the library. So I'd like to make a motion tonight, we follow through with this.
Excuse me, just make sure we have the public hearing opened first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gotcha.
Nobody speaking. We'll close it. Okay.
No one signed up, so.
Nobody signed. Okay, Ms. Gilliam, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve this.
I'll second.
It's been motion and second that we approve this. Are there any questions on the motion? All in favor? Okay, second. Seven yes. Go ahead, Ms. Evans.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The next case before you is introduction of case 23 SUP 334. All property included in this request before you, it's tax map 43, parcel 41, tax map 54, parcel 190, tax map 54, parcel 157, tax map 43, parcel 50, tax map 43, parcel 50, lot A, tax map 43, parcel 51. The approximate acreage of all properties in this request is 1,065 acres, and the parcels are located both north and south of Blinkies Road, State Route 672, where Bear Garden Creek crosses under the road in the Marshall Magisterial District. Landowners Bickford Family Lands, Dick Purcell Land, Cattle, and Timber. Applicant is Mountain Pine Arbonia LLC and Mountain Pine Arbonia 2 LLC, with Hodson Energy and Frank Hopkins and Kyle West as your representatives of Hodson Energy. The zoning district is A1 agricultural, and the applicant wishes to obtain a special use permit to allow for the construction and operation of solar photovoltaic PV modules to produce up to 80 megawatts. This power generated will be linked to the electrical transmission grid via the existing overhead 230 kilovolt high voltage on-site transmission line. The applicant is asking the Board of Supervisors to schedule a public hearing for this request. I just want to give some history in regards to the case, and that is there are two changes after going through the Planning Commission. You will see that condition number 30 was added. There will be no usage of Sleepy Hollow Road at any time, either pre-construction, construction, or post-construction by the applicant or any designated agent. And a buffer condition was changed, number 13A. Within the setback, the applicant shall retain at least a 75-foot buffer of existing vegetation. I bring these two because the application and these conditions have been on public file since October, when the case was first introduced to the Planning Commission. The case was introduced to the Planning Commission October 23rd, 2023. Public hearings were held by the Planning Commission November 27th and December 18th. The Planning Commission sends this case to the Board of Supervisors with a recommendation of approval. 5 members in favor, 2 members opposing, and 1 member abstaining. Would it be the pleasure of the Board of Supervisors to schedule a public hearing for this request? If so, February 12th, 2024, 6 p.m. And the applicant is here with us to address questions and concerns that you may have.
Any board member have a question for the applicant?
I have a couple questions for Carl real quick.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Carter, since Mr. Oliver brought to our attention that the ability of the public hearing from the planning commission, do we need to do something to make sure that's right?
Talked before, we probably need to do something to make sure that all the
Right.
so are sent to those applicants. I mean, adjacent. I think the issue was there's 3 property owners in this project, but only 2 were listed in the letter. So the tax maps were all listed, but the actual name was not on there.
Well, I know we're on my road, that I drive by it every day, the same sign stayed up from November. It wasn't changed for the second public hearing, so.
Address those issues when they.
We do have a presentation. I don't know if the board would like to see it, but I can speak to that. It's, you know, it's the pleasure of the county and how to proceed. We do want to make sure it's all correct. We're open to suggestions, whether it's another letter. One way to deal with it would be, I don't know if there's a joint session in February of the Planning Commission and the board. I think that's kind of the cleanest way to take care of it, to make sure all proper notice is done. Maybe the Planning Commission just votes again. But we're open. I think what we're going to do is tomorrow get with the county attorney and county administrator to determine the pleasure of the county.
Maybe we need some legal advice from our attorney to get, direct which way to go. Must be right. We want to do the right thing. We don't want to do the wrong, so we. Yes, the question was about that some of the landowners didn't get notified about the public hearing, and I was just wondering how come.
Should be. So I do not think. Second question, as I understood it, was I guess it's 15, which is the code, the notices that are required. It provides that notice must be given action that the board of the I don't think there's any not received.
that was complied with, that the notice was sent. Second question of that is the notice not give applicants on that request? My understanding and reading of that, there is no definitive that the board or the planning commission is required to give notice of its action, and it gave notice that it was considering changing the parcels themselves, which does not require, in the statute as I read it at this point, and I'm doing this a little bit off the top of my head, so it's subject to, does not require that you send the whole if you send the name of the applicants. I think you could have applicants off and it still would not be fatal. Quick opinion. So I think you're in a posture that if you choose to do it, and I'm sure the applicant will be doing a little extra research, and believe the county will be doing a little extra. And I can't say that I've been perfect. Might be, I'd have to come back and tell you, my quick reaction was not necessarily the best one, in which case you would not hold a public hearing and you would proceed. Right now, questions, I'll be happy to try to comment.
I think you spelled it out plain. Thank you. Well, we need to set a motion for a public, move to a public hearing. In February, it's what, 6/15?
February 12th, 2024.
February 12th, 2024. Entertain a motion to move forward with a public hearing.
I made the motion, Chairman.
Get a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Supervisor Gillum, second by Supervisor Bryant, that we'll move forward for public hearing on February the 12th. Okay, at 6:15?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. February 12th at 6 p.m. Abraham Lincoln's birthday. All in favor? Fine, huh?
Yeah.
5-2, okay. All right, we move forward with the public hearing, February 12th at 6 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Are we having a presentation? Oh, would you like to have a presentation of the project now, or?
Could you wait to the public hearing?
Sure, and I would just say, we're going to consult a land use attorney too, just to make sure that the legal procedure is appropriate.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, and I
if it's
do
not,
have.
we ask it to go back to the planning commission and take a proper change.
Yeah, we want to make sure it's done correctly.
Based
So,
on the
thank you.
county attorney, he said we were okay, but I'd ask you to go back and double check that to make sure that's correct.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Emerson? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. The next case, Mr. Chairman, before you is 23 SUP 336. Our applicant is Lynn Plant, landowner CNS Retreats, and that property is tax map 16 parcel 61 with just over 245 acres. It is located at 14585 South Constitution Route, Scottsville in the Slate River District. It is currently A1. The applicant wishes to obtain a special use permit to construct a mechanical equipment shed to house and protect maintenance equipment, and the applicant is asking the Board of Supervisors to hold a public hearing for this request. This would be a second special use permit for this property. As you can see in the background and zoning information, that there was a SUP issued in 2018 for all buildings that have been complete and constructed during that time frame, and this is something that was not included within that application at the time, hence the reason for the new SUP. This case was introduced to the Planning Commission, a public hearing was held, and the Planning Commission sends this case to you with a Unanimous recommendation of approval. Would it be the pleasure of the Board of Supervisors to schedule a public hearing for this request? If so, February 12th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Could we get a motion from the board to set a public hearing for this?
I made a motion to move it on to a public hearing.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Allen, second by Supervisor Palmer, that we will move this to a public hearing. February the 12th. It's,
Yes, sir.
all right. All in favor? Seven yes, okay, Ms. Emerson. All right.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you will see before you, there are actually two requests. These are requests for extensions to two prior solar projects. They are 21 SUP 285. This one is known as the Larry Davis Project. It is on Gravel Hill Road. And 21 SUP 286. It's known as NCN Solar, and this is on State Route 20. Condition 4, I'm going to bring this out, of their SUP actually states that the building permit application must be submitted within 2 years of obtaining the special use permit, and the commercial generation of solar electricity shall begin within 18 months of the approval of the building permit, or this SUP shall be null and void. The building permit deadline will be extended for 12 months, 3 years total, and the construction time period extended by 12 months, 30 months total, by the administrative approval of the county administrator after consultation with the Board of Supervisors due to delays in state permits, interconnection approval, or other good cause demonstrated by the applicant. Any time frame under which the Commonwealth is under an executive order of the governor declaring a statewide emergency will toll the time frame specified to this condition. Joel Malafite, who's the Director of Development with Summit Ridge Energy, is actually joining us via Zoom this evening. I will read the request, and this request is identical for both SUPs. It would probably be beneficial to note that the SUP approval was actually granted February 14th, 2022. We're just shy of 2 years, and that's why this request is before you this evening. Mr. Malafite does discuss, I would like to formally request an extension for special use permits 21 SUP 285 and 286 per condition 4, as I just read, regarding the building permit deadline. Since acquiring the project, some...
Jamie. All right, something popped up on that screen. Go ahead. Just
Okay to proceed?
Windows popped up on something on here. Where we can't vote.
Yes, sir. To proceed through the request of the letter, it says, since acquiring the project, Summit Ridge Energy, it was initially Impact Power Solutions. So you may notice that in the document, it stated IP Solar or Impact Power. Summit Ridge Energy has acquired these projects and has been actively engaging with Virginia DEQ and the civil engineering consultants regarding the civil and stormwater design. Additionally, we have been working with the utility to transfer the interconnection agreement and shared solar program award. Based on our understanding of the DEQ's approval timeline, we are expecting that approval within Q1 of 2024, which could potentially be after the initial expiration date of the SUP. Following the DEQ approval, we will be engaging with Buckingham County for review with water conservation and erosion and sediment control and building permit submittal. As I mentioned, Joel Malafite is on Zoom this evening to answer questions and address concerns that you may have regarding these extension requests.
Good
evening, Supervisors. My name is Joel Malafite with Summit Ridge Energy. Thank you for your consideration in this request. Since acquiring these projects from Impact Power Solutions, we've been actively moving them forward to work to get them into construction. We expect the DEQ approval to come in the first quarter of 2024, which could be before or after the expiration date for building permit submittal on the special use permit, which is why we're formally requesting an extension so we can allow to continue to develop the projects. Thank you.
Do any board member have a question for the gentleman? Not, can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we grant the extension.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Garrett, that we will grant the extension Are there any questions? All in favor? 7 yes, all right. That's all you got, Ms. Epperson?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
All right,
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
There's two of them, Mr. Chairman. I mean,
Yes, there's,
There's two SUPs, they both want to request.
so was your motion to
Oh,
approve
I
the
thought you
extension
did
for
both.
both
Okay,
or just
okay.
one?
I thought it was for both of them.
I can, that'd be fine, or I can make another motion, it
Make another
doesn't matter.
motion. Let me make another motion.
I'll make a second motion. to-
Garrett, second. A motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Garrett, that we'll grant the permission for the second one also. All in favor? 7 yes. Okay. We move down to Department of Agency reports and items for consideration. And the first one on it is the refund of a billing permit for $31. What is the board pleasure?
I make a motion that we refund.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Allen, I'm sorry, Supervisor Davis. Second by Supervisor Allen, that we refund this $31. All in favor? No questions? 7 yes. The next one is the P2. It's consider adoption of the FY 24-25 budget calendar.
I'll move.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Allen, second by Supervisor Brandt, that we'll approve this. Are there any questions? All in favor? 7 yes. Move down to Q, appointments to committees, boards, and agencies. Q1, consider appointment of 2 board members to the Water and Water Waste Utilities Committee and staff, outlined in the bylaws and rules of the procedure. Who serves on that
Sir,
there?
Mr. Chairman, I was about to bring that up. Current, or past committee was Supervisor Miles and Supervisor Gilliam on the Water and Wastewater Committee. We did that, or that committee's usually been done with those 2 members because their plants are in their district. Wastewater plants in Supervisor Gilliam's district, and the water plants in Supervisor Garrett's district.
Supervisor Garrett, you willing to serve on that committee?
Yes, sir, I'm willing to.
All right, thank you. And
Mr.
Supervisor,
Chambers?
yes,
Mr. Palmer said he'd like to serve on that. You can welcome to take me off and give it to Mr. Palmer.
all right. That's fine. So the Water Waste Committee would be Supervisor Palmer and Supervisor Garrett, that's correct?
Yep.
Could we have a motion for that effect?
I make the motion, so moved.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Allen, Gilliam, that we,
I pushed the button and Danny said it, so no big deal, it's all good.
all right, no
Don't
problem.
say no.
That we will put Supervisor Garrett and Supervisor Palmer on that committee. All in favor? All right, thank you. Item 2, consider appointment of 2 board members to the Solid Waste Committee and staff as outlined by the bylaws, rules, and procedures. I think Supervisor Brandt served on it now, don't you?
Supervisor Bryant and Supervisor Gilliam on those. 2.
Okay. Would y'all remain on there, Supervisor
I'll
Brandt?
be glad to.
Brandt, Supervisor Brandt, you
Stay on,
okay.
yeah.
Could we get a motion to keep them on there, those 2 on there?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Supervisor Garrett. What the hell is going on here?
I hit the button at the time he was making the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even say that.
Hey, Chairman,
Yes, sir.
you know, we've got a whole lot of different things down through here. So another one that says Recycling Committee. And right now, we're doing the Solid Waste Committee. My question is,
I think we can, don't have to have no more. The recycling committee was when we was getting the sites in place. I don't see what that necessary no more. Do you, Brother Carter?
I think if you do have something recycling wise, the Solid Waste Committee could take care of that.
Okay.
add them
Right,
both
yeah.
together is what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Just say the person is going into the recycle and the Solid Waste Committee.
Okay, can we have a motion to put Supervisor Brandt and Supervisor Gilliam on that? That's right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I think Ms. Edmondson is right. I think that recycling committee was the one that Supervisor Miles and Lynn Hill did for like litter pickup and everything.
Oh, and the tires and the
okay.
litter pickup
Okay.
and
So
tire
we need to
days.
keep that then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem.
All right, sorry.
I thought it was the one that put, you know,
Same to you.
getting the sites
you too.
together. I'm sorry. As you were.
Trying to help.
So we got a motion and second. All in favor? Seven yes. Okay. Consider appointment of two board members to the Finance Committee and county staff outlined in the bylaws and rules and procedures.
Finance Committee, previous was Supervisor Miles and Supervisor Matthews from the Finance Committee.
I'll take one of them if you want me to. If you want me to.
I make a motion that Supervisor Gilliam and Supervisor Allen be put on the Finance Committee.
I'll
second that motion.
Been motion that Supervisor Miles and Supervisor Gilliam be put on the Finance Committee.
Before we vote on that, Mr. Chambers, do you want to be on there? If you want to be on there,
And as a chairman,
okay. You want to be on there? If you do, I'll withdraw.
Well, you're a good one to be on there.
Up to you.
Supervisor Allen, will you be willing to get on another committee?
Sir?
Will you be willing to withdraw on the Finance Committee?
I hadn't been on it before. I just thought I'd get on.
Okay.
Help y'all out, because
Reason, last year, I agreed that the chairman should be on there. I agreed that Jordan, so he was already on there, and he was going through some process with some changes there, so that's why I agreed for him to be on there.
That's right. In the past, has always been the chairman and another board member, but like you said, last year when we were working on some
Right.
finance and stuff, you let Jordan stay on this since he was outgoing chairman.
I would like to see, be on there with Supervisor Gilliam.
I can change my motion
Okay,
to,
all right.
It's up to you, Mr. Chambers. If you want to be on there, you're welcome to.
You-
I'll be glad to withdraw.
No, you want you on it.
I'll make my motion for Chairman Chambers and Supervisor Gilliam to be on the Finance Committee.
Finance Committee.
I'll still second it.
It's been motioned and seconded by Davis and Garrett. Davis made the motion. Gilliam will serve on the Finance Committee, was seconded by Supervisor Garrett. Are there any questions? All in favor? Seven yes. On the Personnel Committee, I served on it with Supervisor Brandt. That's the pledge of the board. We'll still serve. He willing to still serve on it. I talked to him earlier on the Personnel Committee. Get a motion.
Everybody's good with it, I'll make a motion.
Get a second.
I'll second it.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Garrett, that Supervisor Brandt and myself will serve on the Personnel Committee. Are there any questions? All in favor? Number 5, consider appointment of two board members to the Recycling Center Committee. Who was on that now, Ralph Carter?
That was Supervisor Matthews and Supervisor Davis, you on there? Recycling Committee?
Supervisor Palmer was serving at District 4 on it. We got a motion to that effect.
The motion.
Palmer and Davis.
Palmer and Davis.
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Supervisor Gilliam, motion by Supervisor Gilliam, second by Supervisor Garrett, that they will serve on the Recycling Committee. Are there any questions? All in favor? Seven yes.
Without interrupting, Mr. Carter, is the EMS committee on here?
It is not. I was gonna bring that up. It needs to be added to the list.
Okay,
So, I'm
thank
not gonna
you.
let you lead tonight, but I'm voting on that one too.
All right, I was just reading over and didn't see it, sir. Thank you.
Consider appointment of two board members to the Library Committee.
Those committees, I think.
We don't need that no more, do
We're
we?
done with that. That was when the
Libraries,
building was
okay.
being constructed.
Okay. Consider of a board member to the Animal Control.
I'd like to get on that if y'all let me.
motion?
I was getting ready to motion to put Supervisor Allen on that. He's been getting some bids and stuff and prices on construction of.
I'll second the
Okay.
motion.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Gilliam. We put Supervisor Allen on that Animal Control Committee. Got two, I have two, right?
It just says board member, it doesn't say two.
Yeah, it's a board member.
It says a board member.
We normally have two on all committees.
Well, I'm willing to serve on it also, so my motion would be for myself and Supervisor Allen.
I'm good with seconding it.
That's good. Supervisor Davis and Supervisor Allen will serve on the Animal Control Committee, that's right?
Yeah.
All in favor? Seven yes. All right. Consider appointment of two board members to the Solar Committee. Who was on that thing?
I'd like to be on that.
Matthews, myself and Don Matthews.
Would you like to be on there again, Boogie?
No.
I'll be on it.
That was a direct
I'll
answer.
take a job.
All right.
I'll
Brother,
be on it.
I mean Supervisor Brandt, how about you? You want them? Solar. You see what one of y'all? The Solar Committee.
I'll serve, if nobody else wants to, but I really,
We got Supervisor Brandt, want to be on it, and do we have another board member?
well, really and truly, I take back what I said, but being that majority of the solar farms are getting bombarded at my district, I probably ought to stay on the solar committee.
Okay, well, I make a motion.
I'll
You
second.
and Mr. Bryant, right? It'd be you and
Yeah,
Mr. Bryant.
It's been motioned by Supervisor Gillum, second by, who was second the motion?
I second. Garrett?
Oh, I'm sorry, Supervisor Garrett, that we'll put Supervisor Brandt and Supervisor Davis on that committee. Are there any questions? All in favor?
I vote for myself.
7 yes. Number 9, consider appointment of two board members to the courthouse renovation committee, ad hoc committee. Do we still need that?
Well, you will. We haven't started the construction process yet, but those things are out for bid, so you will be needing that committee this upcoming year.
Well, I'm on there?
You were on there, and I think Supervisor Miles was on there.
We have the, okay,
Supervisor
I stand with it.
Garrett, are you willing to serve on that committee?
I'd be willing to serve on that committee.
When you go off for your hunting violations, Mr. Garrett, you can look it over, I
You and I'll be there together. Same cell.
I'll make a motion.
Motion that Supervisor Garrett and Supervisor Gillum.
Gilliam?
Who is it? No, me.
Yeah.
Me and Garrett.
You and Garrett.
Yeah, me and Garrett will say, okay.
I
I'll
want to go
second
up
it.
there.
The motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Yeah, okay, go. Thank you. Excuse me, item 10. Consider appointment of two board members to the Zoning Ordinance Review Committee.
Who's on that now, Carl?
That was Supervisor Matthews and Supervisor Gilliam.
Gilliam, are you willing to continue to serve on that committee?
I'll be glad to. If anybody else would like to, they're welcome to. No big deal.
I'll serve on that with him.
Mr. Palmer? I'll make a
Okay.
motion that Supervisor Gillum and Supervisor Palmer serve on that committee.
All right. It been motion second that Supervisor.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Motion by Davis and second by Supervisor Garrett that Supervisor Palmer and Garrett will serve on the committee? Gilliam, I'm sorry. Palmer and Gilliam will serve on the committee.
Worse than the computer, he can't get
All these
straight
things
either.
get me confused here. All in favor? Seven yes. This Economic Development Committee, do we still need that?
They're needed. That was Supervisor Miles and Supervisor Matthews were on that.
Okay,
We gotta replace both of them now.
right, both of them.
I'd like to make a motion that Mr. Palmer be on that if he's willing to.
Which one is that?
I would like to be on it also.
Okay,
Mr. Bryant?
Brian,
Well, I'd
okay,
like to make a motion that Mr. Palmer and Mr. Bryant be on that.
okay. Give it a second.
I'll second it.
Motion and second that Supervisor Brandt and Palmer be on the Economic Development Committee. Are there any questions? All in favor? Consider appointment of board representative to the Commonwealth Regional Council.
That was Supervisor Miles. He acted as the board rep on that committee, on that agency.
I'd be willing to do that,
Okay, that's good.
Mr. Chairman.
Could we get a motion for that, to put
I'll
Mr.
make
Garrett
the
on it?
motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Gillen, we'll put Supervisor Garrett on this, board. Are there any questions? All in favor? Seven yes. Item 13, consider appointment of a board representative to the Piedmont Senior Resources. I think Jordan served on that, didn't he?
Actually, Supervisor Matthews served on
Oh,
that.
Supervisor Matthews? Have a volunteer? On 13, the Piedmont Senior Resources.
I'd accept that also,
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
I'll put that in a motion.
Get a second? You get a second? Put Mr. Garrett on it? It was a motion by Supervisor Davis, second by Supervisor Bryant, that we'll put Supervisor Garrett on this to represent this Piedmont Senior Resources. Are there any questions? All in favor? Seven yes. That's a good one here at the crossroad, where the crazy folks at. Consider appointment to the representative Crossroads Service.
Supervisor Miles.
Who would like to represent the crazy folks? You said Miles on there?
He was, yes.
Do we have a volunteer? Got a whole lot of folks in Buckingham need help. Don't nobody want to serve on it? Don't nobody want to serve on the crazy water? See you, let's get along.
How often do they meet, Mr. Carter?
I was gonna say, I can probably reach out to them and get you, bring you back their schedule and determine when they meet and how often, and
Okay. This can wait till the next board meeting, is what you're saying?
yes, sir. I'll
Okay.
bring it back next.
Okay, let's table this at the next board meeting. Number 15, consider appointment or reappointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals, District 7. That's Mr. Gomes.
So moved.
Mr. Allen.
Keep her on it, she wants to stay on.
All right. Motion by motion by Supervisor Allen, second by Supervisor Brandt, that she will continue to serve. Are there any questions? All in favor? Got through that thing.
Carter, can we do the EMS after
Yes,
that?
sir. I got a couple more. I got EMS and CSA. When did you serve?
Yeah. Well, the EMS, Mr. Allen's already on there, right?
Yeah, I'd like to stay on there if you.
All right, well, I think it's appropriate that Mr. Davis be on there because he is actually in the fire department and dealing with that type of behavior, stuff. So I think that Mr. Allen and Mr. Davis would be, I'd make a motion if Mr. Davis would do it.
Okay. Supervisor,
It ain't reset yet.
huh?
Ain't
Ain't
got-
reset yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, you go ahead, Amber.
And I make a motion that Mr. Davis and Mr. Allen on the EMS committee.
Second.
I'm hitting it.
Motion and second, and Mr. Davis and Mr. Allen. Right? Serve on the ES committee, is that what you said?
Yes.
It ain't cleared up.
Okay.
Still ain't
Thanks.
clear.
Went to number 16 for some
It
reason.
never did clear up on the
Make
EMS
the
yet.
motion there, Council.
Okay, again, I make a motion that Mr. Davis and
Ain't
Mr.
gonna
Allen
hang.
be on the EMS committee.
And again, I'll
Ain't
second.
second. Yeah.
The motion and second, motion by Supervisor Gillum, second by Supervisor Garrett, that they be on the ES committee. So Supervisor Allen and Supervisor Davis. All in favor? All right, thank you. All right.
Another one, CSA committee, that Supervisor Gillum serves on there.
Okay, you want to stay on that?
That actually meets during the week a lot when I'm working, and I missed a lot of those meetings. I will tell you this is a very depressing meeting because you hear a lot about problem children and whatnot. And unfortunately, I'll be on it if nobody else wants to, but I missed a considerable amount of meetings because I've been working in the middle of the morning with auctions and whatnot. I'd ask for somebody else to take it if possible.
I think they normally meet at 10 o'clock, is that?
Yes, 10 o'clock.
Do we have a volunteer?
One of y'all retirees can handle that?
But it's a very depressing meeting, just to let you know.
Still a young buck, I still gotta go to work every day.
Yeah, you got 3 meetings a week.
Huh?
What's that?
Can we get I really say, gotta get a witness. I don't mean no witness. I ain't in no church. Gotta get a volunteer when I get late in the evening. Can we get a volunteer? Do we have to go to the audience? Do it have to be a board representative? Have to be a board representative.
Dum-de-dum-dum.
Mr. Gillum, look like it pointing back to you.
Looks like, I guess I'll make the motion that I stay on there. How about that?
All right.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion and second, the Supervisor Gillum will continue to serve.
Then X ready.
All in favor? Carly, got anything else?
And then the last one I have is steps. Supervisor Bryan is on that right now.
Want to stay on there, Brother?
I'd like to stay on it, yes.
We got a motion to Supervisor Bryant stay on the steps.
I make a motion.
Pardon me?
If you gotta declare it,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
It's been motion and second motion by Supervisor Gillum, second by Supervisor Davis, that Supervisor Bryant will stay on steps.
Not yet, not yet. It ain't moved.
Ain't the right one.
You gotta wait a minute. I ain't coming.
Now we got it right. Motion by Supervisor Garrett, Supervisor Davis, that Supervisor Bryant will stay on the, committee.
Try it again.
Well, not again, then.
Work at time.
Yeah. Make your motion. Make your second. Somebody make a second.
Technology is fine, but that hand don't never fail. You have to raise your hand. Go back to the hand raising. All in favor? Seven yes. Ms. Carter, you have anything else? County Attorney matters.
Mr. Chairman, I have one brief matter that's precipitated as a result of the action earlier. If I understood, you set the public hearing for the SUP on the solar farm. To give you a little background, we have been talking with the applicant about the siting agreement, and today I received a copy of that siting agreement. It's a requirement of the code that before you can take action on the siting agreement, you need to have a public hearing on that also. I would ask that if you think it's appropriate, that you set a public hearing on the same time for the consideration of the siting agreement as you set.
Get the motion right.
Yes, you need a
We have a
motion.
motion to set the public hearing for the same time.
This Bluestone,
Mountain Pine, 1 and 2, Arvonia.
Your Arvonia project, I mean, is the one that, and I will be providing, I have copies, I will have you copies tomorrow of that. We got the copy by email today. I haven't printed it yet, but.
Okay, we need a second. Okay, we got a second. We got a motion by Gilliam. At the public hearing the same time. Have the public hearing the same night.
I'll second it.
Motion and motion by Supervisor Gillum, second by Supervisor Garrett, we set the public hearing on the same night, right? All in favor?
There we have it.
5 yes.
Paul, I made the motion and voted no, so
How do you mean to vote?
I meant to vote yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. County Administrator,
Yes, I have one item in your packet tonight that I want to draw your attention to. Governor Youngkin had declared our county with several other counties as a drought disaster area. And this is important as, you know, there are a lot of farmers that when we're declared a drought disaster area, they can apply for certain funding and loans that can help with the loss of their crops. In the package tonight, you'll see this letter that's from the governor saying that farmers have 8 months from the declaration date to apply for these emergency loans and considerations. So if you know somebody that has been hit hard by the drought that we had, that they can apply for these and get some assistance to help with their projects. It's kind of, ironic. I know we've had a lot of rain since the drought with December, and then we got another rainstorm tomorrow, but this goes back, this letter's dated November 13th, so they have 8 months from the letter's date to apply for it. So.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Other board matters? Hearing none, so we adjourn.